Zatima's most controversial and mind-boggling season so far. Hey there, Zatima fans! Welcome back to the Wolfe Diaries, where we break down all the drama, twists, and emotional roller coasters from your favorite TV shows and movies. Today, we're diving into Tyler Perry's Zatima's two of the most controversial moments of Season 3 so far, with the first being Fatima's decision to leave Zach in jail overnight, even after she found out he didn't actually unalive his brother Jeremiah. And the second being the introduction of Leslie and Malachi, and how that went left field out of nowhere. Yup, we're talking Tyler's continuous avoidance of letting Fatima to be held accountable and the constant regurgitation of storylines. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Wolfe Diaries. Alright, a bit of a recap. At the end of episode 10, Zach got arrested after being accused of brutally attacking his brother Jeremiah and Fatima. Even though rightfully so, she did tell him before and after that if he chose the revenge path, he would have to face the consequences by himself. However, instead of trying to pass on information to the appropriate people after she finds out Jeremiah is still alive and recovering in the hospital, what does she do? She decides to carry on with her night, and the next day, like it's business as usual, casually saying Zach needs to learn a lesson. Now, let's pause here. Fatima could have taken that information to the lead detective on Zach's case, or even to a lawyer. She didn't have to communicate directly with Zach if talking to him was an issue for her, understandably so. But instead, she chose to let him stew in jail overnight and kept on dragging her feet the next day. And for what? To teach him some kind of lesson? I don't know about you, but that felt more like a parent disciplining a child than a partner trying to be heard. What happened to the Fatima that always stood on the principles of always doing what's right? The one who stood by Zach's side when the world was against him? This version of Fatima feels different. She's still strong and independent, but now it's starting to feel like she's putting herself on a pedestal while treating Zach like a project instead of a partner. And don't get me wrong, Zach isn't perfect. He's made his fair share of mistakes and just pure bone-headed and unfathomable decisions. But does that justify leaving him to rot in jail for a murder charge rather than a battery charge, which would have probably gotten bail easily? Fans are understandably frustrated. Many are asking, was Fatima's decision fair, or was it downright cruel? And is this another example of Tyler Perry building up a character only to tear them down? We've seen this before with a lot of writers, especially when it comes to Black female characters, where a beloved character's actions suddenly take a nosedive, leaving the audience scratching their heads. Could Fatima be the latest victim of this trend? On top of all that, we are introduced to a friend from her past in episode 12, Leslie. We learn that she's Fatima's ex-friend and that she's married to another friend, Malachi. Fast forward to episode 16, we are introduced to the new couple and we get a better context of why they are her ex-friends. We come to learn that Malachi was previously with Fatima until Leslie for some reason decided to jump his bones, and for that reason Fatima broke up with him. He in turn went on to marry Leslie, who wildly ends up showing up to Fatima's house in the same hairstyle as Fatima's. I mean, Tyler, what do you take us for? Dense, brainless, dull-witted, simple-minded? I mean, I could go on and on and on. Doesn't this sound like Belinda's storyline if Zach had let her go all the way with him? And the episode ends with Leslie showing an edited photo of Fatima with Malachi in bed. Again, another picture story. I mean, where's the creativity? Does Tyler assume the only reason women end friendships is because of men? There's no other reason he could have thought of to explain why Leslie and Fatima fell out? And to add on all that, are we sensing another paternity storyline creeping up? And let's not forget the stakes here. Fatima is pregnant. There's a child involved now, and that changes everything. Is this dynamic healthy for them? Or for their future child? If Fatima keeps treating Zack like he's a project that she needs to mold in whatever shape she needs, can their relationship survive? Should it even survive? Some fans are starting to think it's time for Zack and Fatima to go their separate ways, even though we've been rooting for them since day one. One of the most frustrating parts of this whole situation is how nonchalantly Fatima handled it. I get it. She did warn him that if he took the revenge path, she was not going to hold him down in any way. And with that, I absolutely support leaving him in jail and letting the lawyer deal with it. If Jeremiah had indeed passed away, that I'd totally support, because not only would it have been for the right charge, but he did also decide to go rogue even after everyone pleaded with him not to. But knowing that, even though he'd still be charged for battery, it would still be miles away from being charged with murder. She acted like leaving Zack in jail was no big deal, but to the audience, it felt like a betrayal. And by the time they see each other in episode 16 after Nate and Bryce got him out of jail, all of a sudden, she did not want to address the decisions she had made. I was hoping Zack would put his foot down and hold her accountable for leaving him in jail even after she found out he was arrested on the wrong charge. However, as mad as he was when he met up with Tony and Connie and how they left things off, magically, he had come to the decision that Fatima was right. I mean, we spent episodes 1 through 10 only to come back to a decision that could have been handled within the first 3 episodes. And that's if we are being generous. And on Fatima's decisions on working the justice system, from the start of Sisters, we saw Fatima say she wanted to be a lawyer because she had seen people in her family deal with the law, and most of the times, whether right or wrong, they lacked proper representation because most lawyers don't have the same lived experience as she does. Heck, if Deja was to push to press charges against Fatima for destruction of her property, Fatima would be in jail right now. So, to see Fatima walk around with her high-handedness and self-righteousness is a bit heartbreaking, to be honest. And here's another layer to the frustration. Fatima's inaction could have actually prolonged Zack's time in jail. By withholding critical information about Jeremiah's condition, she potentially delayed his release or how he would have been moved around the justice system. Whether she intended to or not, her decision to withhold that information doesn't just feel wrong, it feels irresponsible. And even though they had handled the jail issue upstairs, it's like Tyler could not stand to let them have a minute to breathe and even enjoy each other before he dumped more drama at them in the form of Leslie and Malachi. And the purpose is not to let the audience know more about Fatima. It's basically just regurgitating drama they've dealt with since they met on Sisters. Zero originality and full-on lazy writing. So, where does this leave us? Is Fatima's behavior a sign that their relationship has run its course? Are they ever going to have an episode of them just being a couple without the continued pour of drama after drama? Or is this just a rough patch they'll have to work through? And if they do stay together, what needs to change for their relationship to thrive? Personally, I think they need to have a serious conversation about respect and boundaries. Fatima can't keep treating Zack like a child, and Zack needs to step up and show he's worthy of her trust. At the end of the day, we've all been rooting for Zack and Fatima. They've overcome so much together, and their chemistry is undeniable. But this latest turn of events has left fans divided. So, what do you think? Was Fatima wrong to leave Zack in jail? Is their relationship salvageable? Or is it time for them to go their separate ways? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Zatima deep dives. Until next time, stay tuned and stay passionate. Thank you for joining us on this captivating journey. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and/or subscribe for more delightful content, and I'll see you on the next one.